Thanks for coming back to the show. My name is Dan Kathman. Appreciate you watching. Quick follow-up to the video that I just made. I made a video about entrepreneurship, starting a business, the first thing. It was basically about finding things that you're actually good at, capitalizing on those things, letting that be a start to where you go for whatever business you're starting. I mentioned quite a bit that you shouldn't focus on the money or what could make you money. That's actually important, but it's not the first thing. I just want to make that clear. It's actually an important trait. I think about that very often, but there's a difference, and I want to make that clear to you what that difference is. The difference in making money, the second thing, is because it is very important. It is an extreme quality that you should have as an entrepreneur and business owner to be able to find out how to make money. That's like the number one thing, is how to generate profits for your business or yourself or whatever. But the reason why I say it's second, because of my experience, that's what I'm all about. Like, how can I make money? What I made the mistake of was thinking of things that were outside of my zone, outside of my stay in your lane. You know, I made decisions about businesses that I started, that I put a lot of money into, that were outside of my lane. They weren't in my realm, my toolkit of talents and skills. Now I could do them, but they weren't like, I wasn't passionate about it. It wasn't really like the best things that I could possibly do. Now, I know a lot of people, when they think about business, they think about what can make them money, and that's okay. But the issue is that you should be thinking about, you should first think about, what area do I know, can I do I have skills and talents in, do I like, do I have a passion for, things that you already have kind of the research. So, you know, R&D is a lot has already been developed for you because you've been in it, you know it, you like it, whatever it is. And it can be, the world is your oyster. You can do literally anything, think about, I mean, it could be any number of things, combination of things, different things. Just finding out your areas is important, because then the next thing that you do, I think, I don't know if this is the next thing, you figure out where the money is at. You figure out, so following the money isn't a direct thing I think you should immediately do. I think you should first be in your lane about what you know and what you're good at or what you're interested in. And then within that realm, then that's when you go into the stages of, what could I make money at? How could I make this profitable? Where is the money at? Where is it lacking? What could I do better? What could I do different? What could I introduce to this market that they're not seeing yet, that I think that they would love? What could I do that is different from anyone else, or even the same? Honestly, I mean, there's sayings and beliefs about that nothing is ever really fully original, and that everything has already been created. I think that that's false, but there is truth in the fact that you don't need to come up with something completely brand new or a completely new way of doing things. The best thing, I think, is to figure out what people are actually doing right now, instead of what they were doing, 10 years ago. 10 years ago, if you build a business now based on 10 years ago, you will be out of business pretty soon, because you're basing it off of 20 years, 30 years ago. Forget about it. You're not gonna, maybe certain things, I don't know. Maybe certain, I don't want to talk about things I don't really know. What I do know is, in my opinion, the first thing is to figure out what it is, the categories, the general area that you feel comfortable in. And then within that area, your next step is to probably, and I actually didn't mean this to be the next step. I just wanted you to know which one to do first, because I said quite a bit to not follow the money, to not make it about the money. And if you do it about the money, you're making a mistake. That's because if you make it first, then it's a mistake, because you may not be in your lane. You may not be in the field that you should be in. It is the right move, but it's the right move after you're in at least a general area that you're familiar with, or a general area that you want to be in, or you're talented, skilled, whatever. But being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, one of the big traits is actually being able to spot where the money is at. Now, some people hate talking about money. Well, we're talking about business, so we're talking about profits. We're talking about how to actually make a living doing what you might love. So, and there can be numerous things. People make a living doing this right here, YouTube. So 10 years ago, that wasn't even an option. And now people are multimillionaires. Many of them are making well livings doing exactly what I'm doing right now, which isn't necessarily my goal. It is, totally is. That would be great. Let's do it for me. No. So what I'm saying is like there are plenty of ways you can do it, but I think a good trait for an entrepreneur is to be able to identify within your realm of expertise where the money, where the attention, how you can make a profit, make a business. Because a business is about profit. Even if you're for a nonprofit, the thing is that the people that work at those nonprofits, the people who created it, they don't have a second job. You know, most of the people, I mean, maybe the person who's created it now, maybe the leader doesn't take a paycheck because they have books that they sell or they speak and they make money and they kind of give it back to the organization, whatever. But the people working for that place, they don't all, moonlight as a waitress. They all get paid, and that's because they're making money. No matter what it is, you're making money. So you got to be able to find ways to make the business, even if it's a nonprofit, profitable. Because if a nonprofit isn't profitable, then it will cease to exist. Even though it's not necessarily for profit, that's not the goal. The people that work there, it's their job. They get paid. They have to eat. They have to live. So anything that you want to do in business, you have to think about how to make profit, how to make money, so having this skill is very, very important. But I can't stress this enough. From my own experience, years lost, I want to tell you, the order of those is very important. Don't make it first because you might make a huge mistake that you might regret. Now I learned from it and now I can help other people. But I spent thousands and thousands of dollars investing in businesses that I thought would make me residuals and a lot of money that I had no real interest in, that were not in my realm of expertise or interest or passion or skills, or I don't even know why I did it, but I did. I have a very strong sense of how to make money on my own. I've done it since I was a kid. So I saw that first. What you need to see first is your area of expertise. Then it's very important that you understand how or see a way to make a profit, to make money. But that should come second. If you make it first, you're going to pick something. It may work out for you, but you either may not be very happy, you may not be very good at it, you may burn out because you're not really passionate about it, and it may just completely not work because you're just, it's not even, it may just take forever because you got to learn the whole industry and systems and processes and the skills that are needed to, so at least, and if you want to do that, a lot of people do. A lot of people start businesses and make a living off of things that they knew nothing about prior to starting it. I can't think of any right now, but I'm sure there are some. I just want to make it clear because I am one who makes decisions based on the economic end result. And a side note to that is, what is the easiest for you? Easiest for you and most profitable? That's a good question. That's what you should be thinking about, because it's not easy to everybody. But what's easy to you isn't easy to someone else, okay? What's easy to you isn't easy to the whole world. But what's easy to you is an indicator of what you actually think is easy. So what you think is easy is actually probably a skill of yours. It's a talent. So even in business, even in the realm of your niche, even in the realm of your business, a good tactic is to always think about what is the easiest and most profitable way to do it. We try to make things real complicated because we think the work should be hard. The best things that you'll come up with and the most profitable things you'll come up with will be the simplest and easiest for you. And you'll be able to make them the most profitable. They don't need to be complicated. They don't need to be real complex. That's a little side note. Little tip. It's not always true, but it's a good way to there's sayings that you hear that are really good. Like here's one that Tim Ferriss uses a lot. He says, "How would this look if it were easy?" That's a question I ask myself a lot, is like, how would this look if it were super easy for me? Another one is like, why can't you achieve your 10-year goal in the next 6 months? Stuff like that kind of turns you on your head and really kind of amps you up to see things a little bit differently and wonder, like, why can't it? Why can't I get that 10-year goal in the next 6 months? What would I have to do to make that happen? And it makes you start thinking a lot more efficient. I love efficiency. A lot of people that I meet are very efficient, but I'm actually kind of lazy on certain things. I'm very efficient because I like to do the least amount of work I don't like to waste time doing things that I don't really want to do. I don't like inefficiency. I like it to be, what's the streamlined way we can do? What's the most easiest way we can make this happen? And that's actually very difficult. A great author once, who was it? Who said this? Was it Mark Twain? I would have made it shorter if I had more time. Shorter, concise, easier, less complex, very straightforward is actually difficult to do. So always be thinking of that, because the easier it is to repeat, the easier it is to do. I mean, why would you want to spend 10 hours doing something that if you could do it in an hour and get the same result? You know, you want it to be efficient. Bring it all back. This is the most efficient way to, I think, to start a business. The most efficient way to start a business is to first get in the realm of what you know, and then second, figure out the best possible way that you can then make money in that realm. If you do the money thing first, then you will likely make mistakes and pick areas or pick a business that you don't actually know very well, or you're not very passionate about, and you won't stick with, and you won't like, and you won't be actually very good at, and it might just fail because you suck. So first pick your area, figure out your area of expertise. Then it's very important that you understand how to make money. And you then decide, how can I make profits? How could I, and that's a whole different thing, but just make sure that's second. It's very important, and it's a very important skill to either acquire or have from birth or whatever, or better as you go. I honestly can't think another way. As soon as somebody says something about it, it just happens for me. I just have different ideas that come up with almost any business that people talk to me about. I see the way, because I've been training my brain for the past, I don't know, 10 years professionally at least, and then before that, I guess 20 plus years of thinking that way. So it might take time, or you might just totally adapt to it, but don't make my mistake. Do the area that you know first, then think about what's the best way, the most efficient way to make a profit, to make money, to have a profitable business. And again, even if you are doing a nonprofit, I want to make it clear that you do have to have profits. People do have to donate, because if they do not, you do not have a nonprofit. You don't even have a charity. You have nothing, because the people that you bring on for any kind of project need to eat and they need to live. They're working for you full time. They cannot moonlight as something else. They cannot have a second job. They don't all have second jobs. Okay? They have money because of the business that it is. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it cleared things up, because I wanted to make it clear that first video about what I said, so I want to make that clear. Thanks guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe below. Let me know what you think, and if you want me to talk about anything or have any questions, please leave a comment, let me know, and I might make a video about it. Thanks.
You do it, but you don't do it like this. You don't do it like this, but you don't do it like this. You don't do it like this.
Okay. So a great author once said something like, So a great author once said that it would have been shorter. Shit. See, I should write this stuff down. I don't really remember it off the top of my head. I'm talking off the dome here, guys. I'm just like improvising to you. I don't even know. Well, I don't have anything scripted, so I'm trying to think what this was. It was who was it? Some author